There are moments in the history of science when silence becomes louder than any explosion. A moment when the absence of sound, of signal, of explanation, becomes deafening. For centuries, humanity has turned its telescopes skyward, expecting brilliance, stars being born, galaxies colliding, black holes devouring light. But this time, it wasn't fire or fury that captured our attention. It was silence itself. The James Webb Space Telescope, orbiting 1,000,000 miles away at its stable perch beyond the Moon, was designed to pierce deeper into the cosmos than anything humanity had ever built. It could peer through veils of gas, glimpse the afterglow of the Big Bang, and unravel mysteries hidden since the dawn of time. Yet when its gaze fell upon a patch of sky long dismissed as empty, it saw something no scientist could have imagined. For generations, that region of space was considered nothing more than a void. A gap between galaxies, a lifeless vacuum that didn't even warrant serious attention. Astronomers labeled it a blind spot in the cosmic map, useful only as a calibration point for instruments. But Webb's infrared eyes revealed a presence hidden in that stillness. At first, the data seemed like an error. Instruments don't usually detect perfect symmetry in the chaos of space. Yet there it was, an anomaly so precise it defied randomness, and yet so strange it could not have been artificial. A shadow that consumed light but bent none of it. Not a star, not a planet, not even a black hole. Something else. Something that devoured light without the courtesy of reflection. And then it moved. Not drifting with the lazy grace of celestial bodies. Not tumbling like a rogue rock through the void. It shifted in a way that felt deliberate, measured, slow, as if whatever it was, knew it was being observed. That moment forced astrophysicists, cosmologists, and mathematicians to ask the unthinkable. What if this was not a thing, but a presence? The anomaly was first noted during a deep field survey near the Aerodana supervoid, one of the largest and strangest empty regions of the known universe. A place infamous for its unexplained cold spots and sparse galaxy distribution. The void itself already defied physics. Why would such an enormous stretch of the universe contain so little? Some theorized hidden dark matter, others suggested flaws in measurement. But Webb's discovery added a new dimension, the possibility that something was hiding there on purpose. When Webb focused its sensors on the void, the anomaly appeared as a perfect circle of absence. No radiation, no gravitational influence, no distortion of light. Imagine dipping ink into a still glass of water, only for the water itself to vanish rather than absorb the color. That's what scientists saw, not emptiness, but the removal of the laws that make emptiness possible. Initial theories proposed an exotic black hole. Yet the numbers betrayed that hope. No X-rays, no mass signature, no gravitational tug. Just a sphere of silence wrapped in nothing. And then it breathed. Over days of observation, the boundary of the anomaly began to ripple in and out, as if it were inhaling and exhaling. The thought alone, that a structure the size of a small moon was mimicking something so alive, sent chills through even the most hardened researchers. To probe deeper, scientists studied the distortions of faint light around the object. That's when the real horror began. The echoes were not random. They pulsed in rhythm, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Prime numbers. The mathematical fingerprint of intelligence. And it wasn't using light, radio, or gamma waves. It was warping spacetime itself. Webb's gyroscopes, built to detect the faintest tremors of orientation, recorded microscopic jolts that coincided perfectly with the pulses. As though something was tapping against the latticework of the universe. This wasn't physics breaking. It was physics being manipulated, intentionally. Mathematicians were called in. Quantum physicists combed through the readings. The conclusion was unanimous and terrifying. No natural object behaves like this. The pulses were too precise, too deliberate. This wasn't a signal of something alive, it was the behavior of something aware. The anomaly didn't remain still for long. On the 27th day of observation, it vanished, only to reappear a fraction of a degree away. Not drifting, not accelerating, but blinking, as if skipping across dimensions rather than traveling through space. Its new position was only 0.004 degrees from the original, imperceptible to the human eye, catastrophic to the precision of astrophysics. For if something that large could reappear without leaving a trail, it meant it was not bound by the speed of light. It was not bound by time. Quantum mechanics offers one precedent: entangled particles reacting instantaneously across distance. But this was not subatomic. This was macroscopic, a body the size of a moon, behaving as if the laws of classical physics were optional. When scientists simulated its displacements, they discovered something more unnerving. The points of reappearance mapped a spiral. And that spiral aimed inward, toward Earth. By the fourth month, the tone among scientists shifted from curiosity to dread. Patterns began stabilizing around the anomaly. Fractal geometries emerged, recursive shapes that replicated like living systems, not bones, not organs but neural pathways. Webb's instruments showed the patterns adjusting themselves in real time, adapting to changes in sensor orientation, correcting as if they knew they were being watched. The term was coined, responsive geometry. Artificial intelligence trained to analyze alien structures was fed the data. The program froze, looped, and finally spat out a single word in its error log. Recognized. It wasn't just something. It was someone. Then came the sound. The background radiation in the region shifted, faint at first, then synchronized with the anomaly's pulses. When analyzed, the signal revealed harmonic layers, intervals arranged not by chance but like chords in music. Scientists dubbed it the Song of the Void. But it wasn't just song. The harmonics changed subtly when Webb adjusted position. The object wasn't broadcasting. It was listening. Inside the signal's timing sequence, mathematicians found an impossibility. Hidden among the pulses was the Ulam prime spiral, a pattern of prime numbers with mysterious resonance across nature. But when the spiral was mapped in 3 dimensions, it twisted into a helix. A double helix. Nearly identical to human DNA. The timing of the pulses even matched codons in genetic sequences. Coincidence, skeptics argued. But what if it wasn't? What if the anomaly wasn't just signaling, it was showing that it understood us? That's when silence fell. Public web data streams became delayed. Observatory logs disappeared. Scientists withdrew from projects. Agencies issued vague, bureaucratic statements. Behind closed doors, rumors spread of emergency meetings between NASA, ESA, and even private companies like SpaceX. The most chilling theory whispered in those halls: the anomaly was not discovered. It revealed itself. Voyager, New Horizons, space probes that once crossed the void, saw nothing. That means the object was either cloaked or it appeared only when we were capable of noticing. As if it had been waiting. The final act came without warning. On the 48th day of focused observation, the anomaly fell silent. No pulses. No distortions. No breath. But before fading, Webb captured 3 frames of its last image. Not a void. Not a distortion. A shape, symmetrical, angular, a sigil of nested triangles, circles, and lines. A recursive geometry that screamed of intelligence. Then it vanished. Since then, nothing has returned. But silence lingers. And silence, once broken, is never the same. So what did Webb uncover? A cosmic sentinel? A probe? A mirror reflecting something beyond our universe? Or was it simply a glitch in reality, a door we were never meant to open? The terrifying truth is this: the more we stare into the void, the more the void seems to stare back. The universe we thought was an empty canvas is beginning to resemble a mirror. And perhaps, just perhaps, something on the other side has noticed us staring. This wasn't a discovery. It was an answer. And now, the silence feels less like absence and more like waiting.